Hello everyone, this is Hyperion-Blue-GT here. A brand new update on Gran Turismo 7 is rolling out by having 4 Le Mans Hypercar and Porsche 911 Turbo S Type 992 safety car has now been ready up to go in update 1.70. We've been waiting for this, viewers. This is going to be the best update ever yet to have a look on notice and have a look on the info to see 5 cars are about to be sold in Brand Central. As you can see, viewers, with 4 Le Mans Hypercar and 1 Porsche 911 Turbo S safety car Type 992 is available to get 5 of them as part of the seasonal menu to be planned and prior when you're about to be visiting to the GT Cafe. By starting out with the Porsche 963 2024 for the first one, the second is the Peugeot 9XA 2025, also for the third one is the Ferrari 499p 2023, and the fourth Le Mans Hypercar is the BMW M Hybrid V8 2025. We're having brand new events as well to see some 3 racetracks for Group 1 Prototype Series at Sardinia Road Track A along with Le Mans 24-hour racing circuit and Watkins Glen Long Course along with Fisherman's Ranch for pickup truck race and Archer Nowhere reverse direction in European F-Bar Challenge 550. We want new challenge on circuit experience to take the full course reverse direction on Fisherman's Ranch as well. And here we have a brand new extra menu has been added as well is number 54 for collection hybrid prototypes to be available by reaching collector level 64 and above. But you know what it is, viewers. This will bring out to have a recommend 3-car collection with some LMP1 race cars on the Porsche 919 Hybrid 2016, Audi R18 2016, and also for the Toyota TS050 Hybrid 2016. We're having a new set of compensation for 4 Le Mans Hypercar for Germany on the BMW M Hybrid V8 2025, Ferrari 499p 2023, Peugeot 9XA 2025, and Porsche 963 2024. So don't forget, viewers, all kinds of Le Mans Hypercars is just waiting for you until you might need to take a stop-by visit at the GT Cafe by having 1 race car at a time to give the interaction on Germany to have some short stories on discussion. But coming out on this one, and one more thing perhaps on a brand new seasonal menu to have 4 Le Mans Hypercars to be added as well to give the players the chance to collect different cars on each season and unlock extra rewards. The seasonal menu becomes available after competing on menu book number 39 on Championship World GT Series and watch the ending. With the following cars are now being compatible with swap engines to be available for the Audi TT 3.2 Quattro 2003, Audi TTS Coupe 2009, Renault E-Space F1 1995, Suzuki V6 Escudo Pikes Peak Special 1998, and the Toyota RAV4 Adventure 2020 to be unlocked and available at collector level 50. But the good news is, one Scape background location to be featured is Pikes Peak. Only the first time ever in GT7 to have some different scenes on background environments ever since to be on the point-to-point race on downhill and hill climbs since Gran Turismo 2 back from 1999. And for the additional extra, it seems like Polypity Digital have updated the opening movie for the race when you're visiting in Sport Mode Pavilion that you guys might have to come and check it out to be take part to go with some daily races along with the exhibition series for the GTWS Nations Cup and Manufacturers Cup. With other improvements and adjustments for update 1.70, Grid Trial has now putting up with some update on retry and exit buttons now appear in the menu and display after completing a grid trial. Also for the power pack for the race shop has been added to the quick menu before practice, qualifier, and race when entering with a garage car. Detailed settings can now be selected also in the pit stop menu under settings and car settings during practice with a garage vehicle. Various text localization issues has been corrected and several other issues has been also been addressed. Well, so let's go to the world map and proceed to the Brand Central to have a good look on Europe session to try it out with some 5 vehicles. As I have enough GT credits to be ready up and go with 4 Le Mans Hypercars to be starting out right now. So we've been waiting for this, viewers, and this will have to put myself to go for a stop-by visit at BMW on the showroom to have a look on the 2025 M Hybrid V8. Ever since to see all kinds of prototype race cars throughout each generation, it's all about to have the potential for each kinds of manufacturer brands to be took part on the 24 hours of Le Mans. With this kind of a livery for the M Hybrid V8 2025 has now been well revealed, and it looks so very amazing to have the traditional theme design of BMW in motorsports. So you see, the car number 15 comes in to have a good price on one of the 4 Le Mans Hypercars to be available in 3 million Gran Turismo credits that have features for displacement is 4.0 liters, and that means 3,999cc for the drivetrain layout. It's a mid-engine and it has 641 horsepower / 7,800 RPM. The max torque is 454.9 foot lb / 6,600 RPM. The length is 196.5 inches, along with the width 78.5 inches, and as for the height is 47.2 inches. For the weight is 2,271 pounds, and for the aspiration type is turbocharger. But look at this beautiful Le Mans Hypercar, viewers. This is becoming much more successful to see the V12 LMR ever since from the late 1990s. But the base color is the BMW MT-WRT number 15 to be available to have one color selection pick, and this one to be official to go by default. If you're becoming as a big fan of BMW, this one is the perfect race car just for you. Oh, and almost forgot one more thing, because each kind of Le Mans Hypercars that features with some Michelin tire sticker to be placed in by default if you have to go with some different types of tire compound for the hard, medium, soft, intermediate, and heavy wet on different textures to go for main style on the compound. So let's have a little more of the details, because this Le Mans Hypercar to becoming as an all-time compact competitive ever since from last year by doing the debut participation from the FIA World Endurance Championship. The Mans Daytona H LMDh regulation were introduced in 2023 to reduce the cost of prototype sports car racing. Under the new rules, BMW introduced the M Hybrid V8. A machine intended to succeed the V12 LMR that won Le Mans in 1999. While its oversized kidney grille gives it the look of a BMW road car, the illuminated headlight outlines lend its futuristic edge. BMW selected a chassis built by Dallara, and power came from a twin-turbo 4.0-liter V8 delivered from BMW's DTM program. The M Hybrid V8 appeared in the IMSA Championship in 2023 and the FIA World Endurance Championship the following year. In 2025, it scored a 1-2 finish at the 8th IMSA race and took second place at the Imola in the World Endurance Championship. It also has served as the base for BMW R cars, but there's still plenty more to come from it on the track. Wow! Now that's what I call a beauty, long-time prototype racing compact from the V12 LMR to becoming as an M Hybrid V8. Good to see how BMW is putting up to have their own plans and ideas to be participate with some 2 major roles in IMSA and World Endurance Championship. But coming out on this one, and this will consider this to be purchased to go acquire on Le Mans Hypercar for list number 1. So hello, competitive Le Mans Hypercar to be added to the index with 3,000 collector points. So this will do for only 1 acquirement to be checked and about 3 more to go. And there's going to be an extra feature to bring one of the 4 Le Mans Hypercars to the GT Auto that features with some different set of customization options, just like the Porsche 911 GT3R Type 992 2022 and Ferrari 296 GT3 2023. But I know you guys really think about having one additional BMW race car if they will be having an M4 GT3 to be added to the list for the upcoming GT7 feature update. This is going to get more competitive, improve the downforce, and rolling out to have 3 races for the Group 1 Prototype Series at Sardinia World Track A, Watkins Glen Long Course, and 24 Heroes Du Mans Racetrack. With this race car, it's going to be a well-fortuned competitive for a long-time comeback after decades from the making since 1999 to the present in 2026. It's time to go on to be ready up to try this out later on forward, and let's go to take a showroom on Porsche to have a look on the 911 Turbo S safety car and the 963 2024. 9 years after the Porsche 919 Hybrid 2016 to be reached up by the end of the LMP1 era before moving on to go participation in Hypercar category. But the same price as usual along with the other 3 Le Mans Hypercar comes in, and this one that features to have a good performance point to be stationed up in Group 1 category to be prepared to have a nice good default in 864.68. But it does have no displacement, drivetrain layout for the same MR midship, 670 horsepower / 8200 RPM for the max torque in 495.8 foot lb / 62 RPM. The length in 200.8 inches, along with the width 78.7 inches, as for the height in 41.7 inches, along with the weight to go in 2,271 pounds on aspiration in turbocharger. With 1 base color available, and I hope you guys gonna try this out because this is going to be well official, to be well seen, to be participate in the FIA World Endurance Championship, and if so, to have other kinds of livery design variation was also to be seen in IMSA. Much more quite impressive to have a number 6 Porsche Penske Motorsport, and I can't wait to try this out for Le Mans Hypercar test on number 2. Porsche has a long history in endurance racing, and the 963 was designed to meet Le Mans Daytona age regulations. It carries elements of Porsche's road car design in exteriors with a chassis produced by Multimatic Inc. Power comes from the twin-turbo 4.6-liter V8 hybrid engine, a unit with roots in the legendary 918 Spider. In 2023, Porsche joined forces with Team Penske, unleashing the 963 in IMSA Championship and WEC. In the US, it quickly racked up 3 IMSA victories, but really began to shine the following season in 2024. It captured both the IMSA Drivers and Manufacturers Championship as well as the WEC's Drivers title. Porsche even created a special roadworthy version. The RSB, the 963, is truly a jewel in Porsche's racing crown. And that is why fears the 919 Hybrid as an LMP1 category has now been carried out to take the footsteps before the 963 steps in to becoming as a true Le Mans Hypercar to be took part in IMSA, Manufacturer's title, and the WEC. But this is going to get more impressive to try this out, and I'll have to purchase by 2 of them and register to the car index to be updated on collector points by 3,000 points. Good to have the 963 to be on board, and it looks so very amazing to have the number 6 Porsche Penske Motorsport if you might need to have your own kind of livery design variation to go for your own personal station. But I'll have to leave it as well. Next up, safety car version of the Porsche 911 Turbo S Type 992 for 380,000 Gran Turismo credits. Now, I just really wanted to have to take a look on different stats of performance point to be featured to go with this one on safety car variant in 620.74 performance point with the same amount of performance and drivetrain layout in all-wheel drive. Just like the road-going version that has 621.40 performance point with some different color selection, and this one comes in to have one main base color to have the exclusive livery design variation. With this base color is the dark gray and orange trim with my guess, and first safety car has been added during GT7's content update life cycle. Looks so very impressive, but once you might need to have a look on livery editor to bring this one to the GT Auto, They will be having one light position to be changed up to go for a different position on different colors, but you might have to find out soon enough and get down by learn more the details to have the safety car version what's been designed by Gran Turismo. Motorsports fans understand the importance of safety cars, daily rolling starts, and neutralized races after accidents. Production-based road cars often served as safety cars, but ordinary performance is not enough when leading race machines. Gran Turismo created this special safety car spec version of the Type 992 generation Porsche 911 Turbo S. The 992 generation 911 made its debut in 2018, drawing attention for its updated platform and expanded digital technology. The Turbo S followed in 2020 as the flagship model with a twin-turbo 3.8-liter flat-six and all-wheel drive delivering high performance. It can run from 0 through 62.1 miles in 2.7 seconds and reach 205.1 miles, giving it the speed to handle safety car duties with authority. The root-mounted light bar may go unnoticed, but it remains essential for maintaining order and safety on the circuits. Responsibility does matter for a sports car by becoming as a safety car variation, but good to have one good exclusive theme variation to have a nice Type 992 Porsche 911 Turbo S is now been ready up to go with some exercise and mandatory order. But sign me up. This will consider this to go for cart list number 3 will be registered to the index before moving on to the Ferrari dealership by having a look on the Ferrari 499P 2023. So there you go. One reimagined safety car version to be added to the list, and this will have to be proceeded to go moving on to make your own plans of livery design variation of your very own. With this car appearance to be based off from the real-world Porsche 911 safety car was used by the WEC, the wheat wing and the light bar placement are the same, however the one in GT7 uses a fictional liveries and extended rims instead of exclusive design ones. And I'll leave it and reserve for a FIP car inspection on custom parts for the GT Auto and analyzed in Livery Editor. For 3 years since Ferrari has dethroned the Toyota GR010 Hybrid at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, this is going to be having a first ever livery to be revealed on display by going up and showcased to have the same price along with the Peugeot 9X8, BMW M Hybrid V8, and Porsche 963. Same price comes in as well for 3 million Gran Turismo credits, but this livery turns out to go for a red taste of an art design every year to go competition ready to have a Group 1 category to be listed in performance point at 861.24. With a V6 engine type for a twin turbocharged hybrid that features for the displacement is 3.0 liters of 2,992 cc for a midship in all-wheel drive layout, produces in 670 horsepower / 7,400 RPM. Max torque is 582.8 foot lb / 5,500 RPM. The length is 200.8 inches, followed by width in 78.7 inches. As for the height, 41.5 inches, and as for the weight, in 2,271 pounds to go for a full-speed competition on improved downforce for aerodynamics. By one base color is the Ferrari AF Course number 51 after 50-year absence has now been returned to go for the prototype racing category along with a 296 GT3 as LMDh category. Looks so wonderful and glorious to see this most impressive livery design variation ever yet by official. So let's have Le Mans Hypercar number 3 on learn more the details, and I believe that Ferrari fans are so very hyped and very happy to see the 499 fee to be ready up to go for the virtual world in sim racing on Gran Turismo. The Le Mans Daytona age regulation helped reduce the cost of prototype racing, but also placed restrictions on components. So Ferrari returned to the top class of the WEC after 50 years with a car built to Le Mans Hypercar regulations. That car was the 499P. Created in the tradition of the 312P, the all-wheel drive uses a twin-turbo 3.0-liter V6 hybrid powertrain. The 499P took pole position in its 2023 debut race and stunned the world by finishing third. The climax of its season came in the fourth race where Ferrari won Le Mans for the first time since 1965. The 499P was a groundbreaking model, and Ferrari also produced the track-only Multimatic-built to celebrate its success. Amazing! 50 years in the making to see the Ferrari prototype race car until the 499P took in to be ready up to go for the return compact participation in the FIA World Endurance Championship. But this looks so very cool, awesome, and proud Italian prototype race car has now been ready up to go for the prototype hypercar regulation to be on a track after the successful by dethroning the Toyota GR010 Hybrid. But this was to be purchased on Le Mans Hypercar number 3 to be added to the index. If 4, we might have to come up with some best excellent idea by making their own hypercar category to be returned to Le Mans in the history of making. Time will tell, and make your own thought by prediction if there will be a coming rematch between Ford versus Ferrari to be racing at Le Mans. By history repeat itself to the legendary 1v1 battle since 1966 in 24 hours at Le Mans. The origins of the rivalry has now been heating up, and it's going to get much more quite impressive to see two manufacturer brands are about to go meet again in Le Mans Hypercar category to become as a legendary battle. So let's go to Le Mans Hypercar list number 4 in Peugeot and have a look on the showroom for the 2025 9X8 to see this good electric hypercar to be coming as a Group 1 category. By putting up on V6 twin-turbo hybrid and the co-engine is an X6H that features for displacement in 2.6-liter for a midship layout is an all-wheel drive on a drivetrain by produced in 670 horsepower / 8200 RPM. Max torque is 496.34 lb / 6600 RPM. The length is 196.7 inches. For the width in 78.7 inches. As for the height, 45.1 inches. As for the weight and aspiration in 2,271 pounds in turbocharger for the main gas on twin turbo hybrid. 855.34 performance point by becoming as a Group 1 category after 15 years since the 908 HDI FAP 2010. From LMP1 to Le Mans Hypercar category class, the base color for only one selection variation is Peugeot Total Energies number 93. Looks so very awesome, and placement on Michelin tire sticker to be labeled on medium compound tires to be set by default. Let's see to learn more details because Ford Le Mans Hypercar for the 9X8 is about to be heading out and make the entrance to go appearance on comeback. Porsche once dominated endurance racing with the 905 and 908, and the 9X8 marks its first entry in the hypercar class. Developed by Peugeot Sport, the all-wheel drive 9X8 combines a twin-turbo 2.6-liter V6 with a front electric motor. Check out the line clock-like signatures, a design cue it shares with Peugeot real cars. The early 9X8 wingless design drew plenty of attention, but a large rear wing was eventually added in 2024. The tires were also changed to a staggered setup, helping improve aerodynamics and weight distribution. It shows it refined speed in the 2025 season, finishing a close second in the 7th race at Fuji International Speedway. With its full approach, the 9X8 aims to refine what a hypercar can be, a powerful beast with a personality all its own. Nice, sweet, competitive, and one compact Le Mans hypercar to be participate to see the Peugeot 9X8 is about to go for a return compact season by over 15 years in the making since the 908 HDI FAP 2010. Got to admit, this livery turns out to becoming much more quite redefined, and the headlights has been turned out to go for a claw shape of the lion. But consider this as cart list number 5 to be added to the index, and Ford Le Mans Hypercar to be adding up to go double up on the prices. But of course, double prices on Ford Le Mans Hypercar just only have one extra to have the first one in Ford tryout impression, and the other 4 to be adding up to do with some plan of livery design variation for Vision Total Drama and UDRS Inspirtech racing liveries. So there you go. This one might have to be reserved as well to take Ford Le Mans Hypercar, and +1 as specified only to be take part to go for the brand new lap time challenge at Circuit de la Sarda for every month and every year in June. This year's 24-hour endurance for all fans out there, and I can hardly wait to take the full coverage, as I still might need to have a chance and get down to have some full car inspection with some Ford Le Mans Hypercars to be heading over to the GT Auto. So viewers, what our Ford Le Mans Hypercar has been acquired before heading out to the GT Cafe to have a good look on a brand new seasonal menu, along with some 3-car collection on hybrid race car for the 2016 season of the FIA World Endurance Championship for the Audi R18, Porsche 919 Hybrid, and the Toyota TS050 Hybrid. Everything is set in motion to have 3-car collection on the seasonal menu, but it's not going to be having 3-car collection. They will be having 4 lists of vehicles to be on the lineup in order after obtained with 4 Le Mans Hypercars to be checked, acquired, and receive rewards to get a 6-star roulette ticket as the main date scheduled until by 16 days on June 28, 2026. Now this is going to be a very good best serving up on 4-car collection on the menu. This will do for only one good extra menu to be proceed to go down for the list of brand new. So let's proceed on number 54 for hybrid prototypes after muscle cars from extra menu number 53. Hybrid prototypes. Collect cars that tell the story of an era of prototype sports cars. The good news is, since we have the Porsche 919 Hybrid, Audi R18, Toyota TS050 Hybrid 2016 models, and 6-star roulette ticket for the second one has now been ready up to go obtained as well to get down on narrative story. Congratulations, you got all 3 cars. This completes your hybrid prototypes collection. Once you collect your presents, I got some stories to tell you about these cars. So go right ahead, Luca, and beautiful for a 3-car collection of LMP1 category to be take place after the final corner. Proceed to go to the start and finish line straight at 24 Heroes Du Mans Racetrack. Collection hybrid prototypes has now been complete, and there you go, viewers. A second 6-star roulette ticket will ring the bell and go deliver to the GT garage after the narrative story is now been ready up to see how the history of LMP1 category with some 3 race cars in hybrid type as a spirit of endurance racing competition. This collection tells the story of an era of prototype sports cars. Energy efficiency has always been the key to success in long-distance endurance racing, and energy recovery systems have been part of the FIA World Endurance Championship since 2012. This decision was welcomed by manufacturers focused on electrification, resulting in a wave of hybrid prototypes. The technology advanced dramatically each year, and by 2015, record lap times were being posted at several tracks. The 2016 season then saw an intense 3-way battle unfold between Porsche, Audi, and Toyota. This 919 Hybrid, a prototype introduced by Porsche in 2014, became known as the Endurance King. It has a compact turbocharged 2.0-liter V4 engine that it used to great effect in races including Le Mans. But Porsche had a serious challenger in the form of a diesel hybrid developed by Audi with its famous GTWS team. The R18 may have shared its name with its predecessors, but it was a new model with prominent fenders and an F1 style nose. The 4.0-liter diesel turbo engine was paired with a new hybrid unit, a setup that made it one of Audi's most advanced prototypes. Over in Japan, Toyota developed a new prototype of its own, entering it into the championship in 2016. The TS050 Hybrid, a four-wheel drive car with motors on both the front and rear wheels, was designed specifically with Le Mans in mind. And sure enough, its battle with Porsche on that legendary track was dramatic, instantly entering the annals of racing history. These days, endurance racing is contested under new regulation, and these models can be seen as marking the end of the LMP1 era. Every generation with prototype race cars from the past, the present, and the new generation of the Mans Daytona Hypercars to be stepping forward to be entered in the future. Good round of the applause with three famous all-time LMP1 race cars for the Porsche 919 Hybrid, Audi R18 2016, and Toyota TS050 Hybrid for extra menu number 54. With having 4 Le Mans Hypercars to be added to the index, planned to go by collection on seasonal menu, and this will be proceeded to go for the next phase with 4 Le Mans Hypercars on conversation with Germany for the BMW M Hybrid V8 2025, along with the Peugeot 9X8, Ferrari 499P, and Porsche 963. But this will have to take a little bit a while before putting up to have 4 Hypercars to be heading up to the GT Auto right after the conversation to have a discussion of interactions. The 1999 Le Mans 24 Hours was one of those races that stays with you. Factory teams from the world's biggest automakers arrived with everything to prove, fighting for victory in an all-out war. When the checker flag fell, it was BMW's V12 LMR prototype that stood above them all. It was BMW's first overall win at the legendary 24-Hour Classic. Now, some 20 years later, BMW has returned to the top category with a machine built for the modern era, with this BMW M Hybrid V8. The car made its presence felt, scoring a 1-2 finish at the 10th round of the 2024 IMSA Sports Car Championship in Indianapolis. It also took a Hypercar class victory in the World Endurance Championship. There's no doubt about it, this machine has proven it belongs on the world stage. Now that's what I call a perfect competition comeback for BMW since 20 years in the making for the V12 LMR at 24 Hours at Le Mans back from 1999. Looks like Porsche, Ferrari, Peugeot, Cadillac, Lamborghini, and also to have one Toyota for the TR010 Hybrid is about to be putting up to go for the replacement from the GR010 Hybrid. Much afterwards to see the BMW M Hybrid V8 has now been achieved to go debut participation on 2 race series on IMSA and WEC. Next up for Le Mans Hypercar on vehicle number 2 for the 2025 Peugeot 9X8 with another batch of a conversation on Germany. Of all the race cars born for the Le Mans Hypercar regulations, the Peugeot 9X8 may be the most distinctive of them all. Its wingless concept made headlines when it debuted in 2021. And that bold approach may have helped it briefly take the lead during an especially wet and grueling Le Mans in 2023. In 2024, the car underwent a major evolution, gaining an all-new rear wing and a more conventional aerodynamic package. A top-tier contender in the WEC, this is a machine that never fails to make an impression. We carry out with a 908 HDI FAB 2010 by 16 years later until now, the 9X8 is becoming as an all-time best important Le Mans Hypercar to be heading out and go for the top tier participation for only one important motorsport event of all time. Much more quite impressive to see one single LMP1 race car to take a long footstep before a single hypercar to be steps in to be on the return of the comeback. Since decades of the making, from the 1993 in the 24 Hours of Le Mans for the Peugeot 905 Evolution 1C. By putting up with some info, and this chassis has been turned out to becoming as a road-going concept car as original before putting up with some changes as being debuted for the first 3 years with no wing spoiler. However, this wing spoiler has now been attached and ready up to go for the increase of improved downforce whenever it takes to have a good respect and good trust to see this good 9X8 to be ready up on the track. By carrying out and succeeded with the Porsche 919 Hybrid after the end of the LMP1 racing era, the 963 2024 for the next conversation to give a good detail on interaction by having a matter of discussion. The Porsche 963 has quickly become one of the benchmark machines in the premier classes of the IMSA and WEC. And in IMSA, especially, it has been nothing short of formidable. Competing in the 2024 IMSA GTB campaign, the 963 came out swinging with a victory in the season opening 24 Hours of Daytona. From there, it kept piling on the wins at Laguna Seca, Watkins Glen, and Road America, before ultimately securing both the manufacturers and drivers' championship titles. Meanwhile, in the WEC, the 963 has firmly established itself as a regular podium threat, further cementing its place as one of the modern masterpieces of endurance racing. See that? Just like the 2016 Porsche 919 Hybrid, by taking its footsteps, and the 963 is about to be entered to be moving up for the next chapter for endurance of competition. One LMP1 race car has been finishing up on Porsche, and Le Mans Hypercar to be steps in to be moving on to take the next chapter. But further yet, everybody is talking about the 963 is everybody's favorite Le Mans Hypercar to go heated up and race well to go on American racing circuits like Daytona, Laguna Seca, Watkins Glen, and other race courses in the FIA WEC. By competing with Peugeot, BMW, Ferrari, and also for Cadillac as well to see all different manufacturer brands to go rolling out since the debut back from 2023 at the 24 Hours of Daytona. Where the chassis has been built and designed by Multimatic, this 963 is the perfect successor of the 919 Hybrid for all Porsche fans just for you. As for all Ferrari fans, last conversation with Jeremy for the 499P 2023. The Ferrari 499P is the kind of machine built for the history books. Who could forget its stunning run at Le Mans in 2023? On the grand stage of the race historic centenary, Ferrari returned to the top flight after a 50-year absence, carrying the weight of expectation with it. Just imagine coming back on a milestone year like that. The pressure must have been enormous. And yet, in a flat-out fight against rivals all chasing the same prize, it was the number 51 Ferrari 499P that rose above them all. Ferrari's first overall victory in 58 years wasn't just a win, it was one of the great comeback stories in motorsports history. See that? Ferrari never gives up when they're using with GT3 race car for the 296. It's now been racing evolution on different race series and one reserved for the FIA World Endurance Championship for the 499P 2023 after the debut from 3 years ago. By being a successor to the Ferrari 333 SP was debuted and raced in 1994 and ends until 2003. one prototype race car to becoming as a successor until the Hypercar to becoming as the main successor for over 2 decades in the making. Now we go on to the GT Auto and have a look on 4 Le Mans Hypercars to have different unique customization options on different part placement, as start out with the Ferrari 499P 2023 on front and side part options available. See that? The Type A option that costs with 15,000 Gran Turismo credits to have the front canals and other kinds of part on the hood placement just only have one additional improve on the downforce along with the side. However, it only costs 6,000 GT credits to have this indicator to have that one LED screen type position has not yet to be functional, just like the Subaru BRZ GT300 2021, Ford GT Race Car 2018, and Ferrari 296 GT3 2023. Looks so very interesting, but no exception onto the rear and wing spoiler options because it cannot be fitted to this main current vehicle. So let's have a look on the Porsche 963 2024 might give a compatibility for the front, side, and rear part options available to be inspired to have the different counterpart from IMSA. For example, it costs 15,000 Gran Turismo credit to have one part to be added on the front grille, as sweeping up to go for the GTP racing regulation ever since from IMSA. But the standard part comes in as well to go originally to be debuted from the participation race for the FIA World Endurance Championship. As for the side option, LED function options to be included on Type A, and this part includes with Type B with 6,000 Gran Turismo credits, and for the rear parts, one part removed, and this will cost with 7,000 GT credits to give a downforce of increase of the improvement. But I kind of like the standard parts, by the way, but it looks so very original, and however, with different kinds of LED function to be placed here to be well seen onto the rear, and this one to be placed here onto the near front. But much more afterwards, all kinds of different customization options for Le Mans Hypercar, and I kind of think it will be quite very amazing to see all kinds of different functionalities to be applied, equipped, and make a good jazz up the style to have your own kind of livery design variation to choose one of the 4 Le Mans Hypercars. With similar custom parts along with the Porsche 963 2024, the BMW M Hybrid V8 has now been featured to go with a different set of custom part options to see the front canals on Type A options to be available by purchase with 15,000 Gran Turismo credits. It will give a reinforced on downforce for the front speed on aerodynamics, might give a good improvement along with the rear option, a bit more trim, and it costs with 7,000 Gran Turismo credit to get this part to be fitted and installed to be similar to be based up from the standard version. But however, the side part might get a bit more different to have the LED position indicator to be well opened up to be purchased with 6,000 Gran Turismo credits as Type A, and the LED number display to be included on Type B as well. Looks so very neat, and this is how 3 Le Mans Hypercars to be featured to go with main part customization options might give a compatibility, but they will be having one more Le Mans Hypercar without any kinds of compatibility for the front and rear itself. However, the Peugeot 9XA 2025 for only one part available to be proceed into the side skirts. This is going to get much more interesting to see the 4th Le Mans Hypercar, as we have to take a look for ourselves, and it's going to get much more clever to be proceed in prior to the 5th vehicle on the Porsche 911 Turbo S Type 992 safety car. So here it is, guys. Only one part option on the side skirts has now been available that costs with 6,000 Gran Turismo credits to be featured to have a position indicator with the Peugeot logo itself. Brilliant, and I kind of like about this part options to give a good Le Mans Hypercar grade with the Peugeot logo itself. And it looks so brilliant, and I kind of like about this main part option in Type A part placement. Alright, with 4 Le Mans Hypercars has everything to be checked and well done for now, let's have a look on customization options on the Porsche 911 Turbo S Type 992 2020 as the safety car version to be based up from the road going variant. With the front and wing spoiler option is still remain the same, though let's have a look on the side part to be included to go with Type A to have few parts onto the light bar placement to cost with 6,000 Gran Turismo credits. Very much more quite exactly to be based off from the original road-going variant to be featured onto the side skirt to be placed here as well. As a safety car, only one part to be added as the standard parts with no parts removed on Type A is now been going up to have the light bar placement to go putting up with some various equipment. And you know the same price on wingless for 500 credits along with Type A and Type B part option on 4,500 Gran Turismo credits, and same goes to the front part between Type A and Type B for 15,000 Gran Turismo credits. But in additional, once you're about to take a look on Livery Editor by Create Design, just have to sit back for a few seconds and the light bars might get a bit more different this time. So let's go to the race option and have light cover to be placed as Type A original, and feast your eyes on Type B is about to go color in blue. Now that's what I call a true blue light bar placement has now been included to have the safety car to be introduced for only one feature functionality. Looks so very awesome, and I can't wait to make my own UDRS Inspirtech livery to have a nice good safety car version for the Porsche 911 Turbo S. Very neat, and I kinda like about this safety car version that features to have a light bar placement to go change up as original and the true blue color itself. So that's it for 5 vehicles on customization preview on GT Auto and +1 on the light features when using in the livery editor for the Porsche 911 Turbo S Type 992 safety car. So let's head on over to the Scapes and proceed to the brand new Variation Scape on Pikes Peak, Colorado. As the highways to the heavens because of the description title itself, this is very much more impressive to have all kinds of different locations for a total background up to 11. It was used to have the off-road trail from the late 1990s for all race cars to go faster on hill climb on time attacks until the present day in 21st century. The road is now been becoming as a fully paved asphalt to have all kinds of different scene background locations to be included as well. Pikes Peak is a mountain in the U.S. state of Colorado. It is located in the eastern part of the Rocky Mountains and has been setting for the world famous hill climb since 1916. The race takes place on the toll road that leads up to the mountain's 14,115 foot summit. Cars climb a total of 4,724 foot between the start and finish lines. Well, I know you guys still really think about having a first ever full hill climb track to be needed in Gran Turismo 7 ever since from Gran Turismo 2 back from 1999. And I know you guys really think about Pikes Peak Hill Climb should be added by becoming a racetrack itself, just like Goodwood Festival of Speed Hill Climb back from Gran Turismo 6. But if possible, any kinds of various background location for 11 of them should be the only best place for all of us once we might need to jazz up with your own car and make your own masterpiece to go be creative. So let's start out and have this background scene location on list number 1, and I'll have to grab the Total Drama Island edition of the Suzuki Escudo B6 Pikes Peak Special 1998. Gonna go to Suzuki and grab the Escudo to be placed here, right over here. Okay, just have to go on panning, and I'll have to be preferred to go by 67 miles per hour to go in nearly 68. Okay, just let me do the masterpiece and just have to place that driver right over here. There we go. Now, gonna have to go for a camera height just to give it much more jazz up to be in the low position, and that should do very perfectly. Okay, very good. Just set it here and camera on rendering. Alright, beautiful, and one good nostalgia race car on Pikes Peak in the asphalt with a single Total Drama fan art. Now then. Okay, first take, resume, action. Now then. So let's try seeing background scape number 8, and I'll have to give it a favor, and I'll have to bring out with a Volkswagen IDR 2019 with my UDRS and Sportec Racing livery. Got to go in manufacturer. Okay, there you are. Gonna have to be selected, and I had to be preferred to go for the middle section of the road, just like pretend to be on a one single time attack. Gonna go detail settings and have my drop avatar to be turned on as well, and putting up to have the moving wings to be set in 0.12. Okay, there you go. Just have to go by exposure correction to give it EB3 and background blurry to be full clear. Okay, perfection. Now I'll have to give it a little bit more change on the effect to be preferred to have a nice good in opal, or I'll have to give it something much more dazzling and painting to do some differences on the effect. But why not just have to give dazzling, and it turns out much more quite beautiful and full scene in early twilight hour. Panning shot has to be turned on as well, so I had to give by 45 miles per hour and have the ankle position to go on the right in 4 degrees. Okay, picture taking number 2 on rendering. So here it is, guys. Feast your eyes, and basic, turn, realistic, wonderful. That's more like it. But so let's try Scenescape number 11 and give it a hill climb for a better photo op for a classic muscle car ever since that you just remembered by playing the Crew 2 on special of the USB Tour East Edition. Then why not just have to give an American muscle car will be jazzed up and give yourself with some different masterpiece for all in for a matter of perspective. But it's all about being creative to have a different on comparison with some different racing games to have the skate background on every Gran Turismo series and the open world itself. But how about I'll have to grab the Ford GT 2006 and give that position to be placed right over here onto the right side of the road. But no need to have a camera height, but other kinds of different opportunities to see 11 background scapes on Pikes Peak hill climb between the uphill and the downhill whenever you might have to give your own kind of masterpiece to do your own part. Just have to take the dirt one and give by 56 miles per hour and change up on the EB exposure to give a little bit much more on plus 0.1. Okay, now for the effects. Give something a bleach bypass and make it much more quite good to be dazzling, at least to be give it much more brighter. So I had to change things up, but I'll have to give it a reimagining sunset is just what I need to have. Okay, drop avatar has now been turned on. Wait for the picture perfect, rendering, and wait until a few seconds. There you go. Just beautiful and quite good dazzling on the sunset effect to see a V8 supercar to be driving on a hill climb in Pikes Peak. But you guys might have to give it a shot to have your own favorite vehicle and your own liveries. 11 scene backgrounds locations has now been introduced to update 1.70. But how about I'll have to give it one more time, and this one is very much more will indeed to have a best race car ever yet. Got to go on car type, select it on racing car category, and choose any kinds of different race car whenever you might need to jazz up your own kind of theme background whenever you like to have your own decision to pick. And I'll have to pick 3 Group B rally cars with 3 teams of Total Drama World Tour as I have to be grabbed the Hyundai Genesis Group B rally car of Team Amazon, followed by the Ford Focus Group B rally car of Team Victory, and the Toyota A6 Group B rally car of Team Chris is really hot. Now I'll have to go for a masterpiece on its main background location. This view is just quite very amazing to have a good far distance with some few mountains and the nature of the forest itself. But looks so very cool by the way, and I kinda like to have a best seat to go for a nice natural background for the theme of environment. So I have to go by country and find the Ford Focus Group B rally car. There you are right now. and have that front view position to go placed right over here. Alright, now let's have the detail settings and have the driver tire appearances to be active to be turned on as well for all three vehicles. Okay, that's good for car selected number 2 placement, and the third one on behind as well. Okay, and I'll give the background blurring to be set and fully clear. Let's change up the camera to go around to have a good eye focus with 3 Group B rally cars. But how about I'll have to give a little bit more 3-car time attack on the hill climb for Pikes Peak. It's just the masterpiece is what I need to do. Just give the effects, might give a little bit more bleach bypass, might be well placement on the preset default. So here comes the rendering. This one might need to take a first phase on the pause effect. Well, pretty basic, but it might have to give a little bit much more realistic to be using on the panning shots. So I almost forgot, just have to grab and have any 3-car selecting to go for a travel speed. Just set into 74 miles per hour. Right next onto the Hyundai Genesis Group B rally car to be set in 60 miles per hour. And for the A6 Group B rally car to be going for the main usual to be peak up and get closer towards 58 miles per hour. So let's have the shutter speed, might have to be preferred to go for one shot in 250 seconds. One picture update coming right up on further notice. And there you go, right here and right now. Very satisfied with 3 Group B rally cars to take the hill climb of Pikes Peak International for one good cruising up on time trial practice to have a closed circuit to go hill climb on the route. Okay folks, that's it for only one good best introduction to have a brand new variation on Pikes Peaks as a brand new feature for update 1.70. Let's have a look on brand new events awaits us in World Circuits, and then heading out to Circuit de la Sarda for a 1-lap practice by using with 4 vehicles with 4 Le Mans Hypercars and Porsche 911 Turbo S Type 992 safety car. And I hope a brand new weekly challenges to be ready up and go for the second week of June has now been set to be upon in arrival. As the title for weekly challenges until challenge end in about 5 days left to go. As you can see, viewers, with flight events comes in to have a brand new mission challenge for 1-lap magic at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps with using all Peugeot vehicles as specified vehicle to go recommend on the 9XA 2025 along with Group 1 prototype series at Circuit de la Sarda, Yas Marina Circuit in Ferrari Circuit Challenge, Suzuka Circuit in Japanese FR Challenge 450, and Broadbeam Raceway in Sunny Cup to get 3 prizes at once with 100,000, 200,000, and a car category for a 6-star roulette ticket. As we go on in event directory to see some new races available and have a look on European FR Challenge 550 to be reserved as race number 6 at Object Nova reverse direction. Along with pickup truck race to be adding up on race number 5 after finishing up on Lake Louise on Tri-Oval reverse, 1 lap on Fisherman's Ranch for a 454 pickup truck for the Ford F-150 Raptor 2011 and Toyota Tundra TRD Pro 2019. If there will be having another kind of a pickup truck, but we'll have to find out and see if any Gran Turismo players and fans will be more likely to have more adding up cars for the upcoming feature updates by planning up, or if there will be having some data mine if anything else might have to come up to go for a sneak peek by preview, but we still might need to take a long time to have a one brand new racetrack or the return ones as well for this year in 2026 if Polybius Digital is about to be ramping things up to go with some new changes on Apricot Hill Raceway. But I'll have to add it to the list ever since they have a realistic on race course since Gran Turismo 6 back from 2013. Now, let's have a look on 3 new races in Group 1 Prototype Series to have race number 7 to be wrapping up on Yas Marina Circuit, Watkins Glen Long Course, 24 Heroes Du Mans Racetrack, and Sardinia Road Track A is now open for competition to be placed here as a continued progress. 15 laps for Watkins Glen along with Sardinia Road Track, and 7 laps on Le Mans Racetrack as well to go over the full speed of Le Mans Hypercar class category. But I'll have to make sure to participate in the weekly challenges later on, putting up to have one circuit experience to be visiting stop by over to be in Americas. But I'll decide to go on quick detour, and here it is for only one good classic Group B rally car to take part in reverse direction. It's the Lancia Delta HF Integral Rally Car 1992. I'll have to give it a try, and I'll have to get down for one segment to take one reverse direction to be drive in classic Group B experience. But don't you worry, fears, I'll have to make sure to try it out with some 5 vehicles later on forward to be proceed to Le Mans shortly. But it's going to be taking a long time, so I had to remind myself to proceed to go to the Nürburgring endurance layout in reverse direction. So here we have Sector 1 in gold regular objective to be set in 21.7 seconds, Sector 2 in 37.1 seconds, along with Sector 3 in 31 seconds. Number 4 sector comes in and par target time ejected in 27.8 seconds, and then the 5th sector comes in on 38.7 seconds, as 2 sectors for the penultimate on number 6 on 34.4 seconds. Once you're about to go all clear by wrapping up on sector 6, you'll be moving on and take the final sector on number 7 at 34.8 seconds until one lap attack is about to begin to take 3 minutes 20.8 seconds. So let's get down to do some rallycross racing experience. First up, Sector 1 on target time ejected in 21.7 seconds. Once you might need to have some assist settings, we'll have to help you out and leave the traction to be remain turned off. Time to go rolling start in 3 seconds, and look ahead on the first and second turn to get much more challenging to be embrace the skill on power slide. So you might have to get that skill to go power slide at this rate, viewers. Turn 2 is going clear. Once you might need to have the third turn corner to go toughen up and have that inside position while you're about to go on power slide. Okay, looks like a tough start comes in to go quick piece of cake. Gold record has been achieved by 21.163 seconds, and let's have the exit by showcasing on the replay. But it's all about having nostalgia rally car to meet some new heights, new obstacles, and different elevation terrain to see how skillful can it get. See that? With Sector 1, as you're about to go proceed onto the inside at turn 1 and 2 while you're about to go pulling out on the power slide. Once you're about to go all clear on turn 2, you'll be on the way while power slide to be coming around on turn 3 by the entrance and exit. We'll have to go boot like a Cadillac and sting like a beaver. And that is why mastering Sector 1 is very important once you're about to proceed to the second sector to take the next phase on hill climb. But consider this one thumbnail image on the replay by the rolling start cutscene before heading out to take the next challenge by having a target time in 37.1 seconds. See that? The rolling start takes place at turn 3 before going hill climb onto turn 4, and double hairpin comes in onto turn 5 and 6, and then the blind corner might get a bit more challenging to be proceed onto turn 6 and 7, if possible to have the possibility to go on the finish line at the goal. So watch and learn, viewers. Turn 3 by rolling start, and have enough speed once you're about to go up on the starting line position and get down to have the turn 4 position to find that line. Let it come at least, slide around, and here comes the first hairpin. This is going to get much more tricky to have some elevated, but better watch out to avoid the contact while you can. Okay, second gear might need to step it up a little bit if you're about to go for manual transmission. See that? Blind corner shorter up a little bit once you might need to take the 6th turn and 7th turn before reach up onto the finish line goal. And that is why mastering Sector 2 is very important before proceed to the 3rd sector. It's the big jump every year to be drilled. My current record has been achieved for only one attempt in 35.913 seconds, as the second replay will get down on second demonstration on how to achieve the gold record on Sector 2. See that? The main scene comes in to be precisionized to go full straightaway on the hill climb before take one jump, and then you'll be on the way to be going on a slide turn on turn number 4. With 2 hairpins comes in as well onto turn 5 and 6, it's going to get much more challenging and make your own kind of a racing line strategy to face any kinds of obstacles while you have some troubling situation. Once 2 hairpins is all clear, you'll be on the way to be proceed onto the short blind corner to be stopping in and have that power slide technique drift to go for off-road on the technique. And there you go, crossing up the line and give that jump for a grand finale before proceed to take the 3rd sector to be proceed onto the next challenge. And here, you're about to have the starting point to be take place on turn 6 around the blind corner, as the short straightaway is where the big jump comes in to be ready up and brace yourself before take the touchdown to go down the hill onto the main hairpins onto turn 7, turn 8, and turn 9 to go power slide on skill by reaching up the finish line. So don't forget, the target time objective might have to go quickly as possible in about 31 seconds if you had to go hard on the part time by under 30 seconds. So let's go for one big jump, viewers. Better brace yourself. This is going to get much more competent to be on the up top of the hill and slide turns to go downhill. Yeehaw! One touchdown and pulling out the skills on the power slide to go inside the position to find the line. Okay, now gonna have to keep it satisfied, keep up, and don't get slowed down away from the ghost lap. Once you might need to have that best upper hand advantage before proceed to go on turn 9 by reinforce it. Okay, almost there. Gonna have to go for it. And close call for the nick of time in 30 seconds by a point decimal in 909. Oh yeah. Now that's what I call one big jump on sector 3 on reverse direction, and let's have a look on the replay to get down to see the demonstration for the 3rd one as ever in circuit experience. Once you might need to choose different approaches on main straightaway if it depends on to go for the center position when going airborne, have the outside to be reinforced to go kick up, then power slide on the downhill to be on the first hairpin around on turn 9 and turn 10 to keep it nice and clean. But not yet at least, turn 8 and turn 9 is the first steps while you can after the big jump is all about to have some rallycross skills to go Group B on Nostalgia line. But much more quick as ever to be wrap this up on the 3rd sector by cross the line and ends up by almost in 30 seconds by putting up in 0.9 seconds if you had to push yourself to go skill up improvement. Every Gran Turismo players, when taking part on circuit experience, is all about to have the skills on classic rally card, and consider this 3rd content replay before moving on in the 4th sector to take the next goal objective in 27.8 seconds. On the map, it also shows in to have that main straightaway to go curb up and a bit more tricky, so be very extra careful and do your own skill on exercise caution while you can to have your own approaches, and make sure this will get a bit much more challenging at least for this rate before moving on to take the right corner and be positioned while power slide if you can. So let's get going. And have the ghost lap will have to assist you while you might need to stay on focus to overcome with many obstacles. Okay, just have to go follow the yellow highlights. One speed bump on airborne comes in and pull it out when you're on 5th gear transmission to kick it up into high gear. Now's the time to do it for the right turn on power slide. Go kick up and make your exit before the goal line is about to be approaches to be placed here. Once you might need to get demonstration to do enough practice as I ends up originally by the silver in 28.113 seconds. See that? You might have to try harder at this very time, viewers. So let's try this again and update my current record. It has now been set in 27.881 seconds. So I had to do this. 2 ghost lap is all about to be troubling times comes with challenging measures. Okay, there you go. Just have that position inside to go here and pull it together on the 5th gear transmission. So look ahead and moving up on the right turn corner position to be power slide to go in and out on the inside corner. Okay, much better, and one close-in contact by top landing arrives in 27.199 seconds on the goal. Well, talk about having one grueling effort on curved straightaway to overcome with many obstacles, as the replay will explain to get down on demonstration to see how few other Gran Turismo players and WRC players to see one curve up straightaway to have this main current sector on number 4 in Fisherman's Ranch. But it takes grueling on top caution once you might need to stay on the 5th gear transmission by around in over 120 miles per hour, once you might need to have one speed bump comes in and pull it together, once you have to get down to have that right turn position to go inside on the power slide. As for starters, every Group B rally cars might have to do some experience once challenging with some few opponents, or doing one single lap time challenges to be set in prior to the future upcoming events as well when you're visiting in Sport Mode Pavilion. And that is how the 4th sector is the top curved straightaway with some obstacles is what you need to do, and have the traction to go remain up as well to have some different methods if you might need to have some assistance to go helping as well. So number 4 content replay for the 4th sector is all clear. Then let's go hill climb again on the 5th sector and make that good position on 3 hairpins before take the target time ejected in 38.7 seconds. So let's find out. Rolling start begins in 3, 2, 1, and we're off. So you know how it works, you guys. Take that right corner position on power slide and make that hill climb to go progression in order to have a watchful eye on the yellow highlights. See that? The brake zone comes in and you might need to slow down a little bit before the first one comes in to be well checked and have the inside to be reinforced to go rally crossing in the drip. Okay, still remain on gear number 2. Got to catch up to that ghost lap. Stay on the edge and made it on top. Reach up the goal and here it goes. Oh yeah! Goal record arrived in 38.359 seconds. See that? It's all about that you might have the hill climb skill tactics to go reach up and obtain the gold record to have a nice Lancia Delta HF Integral rally car is all about to have the purpose to go kick up on the hill climb on 3 hairpins. However, the replay will explain to see how you can actually to make your own tricks and skill to be obtained to go race well and drive your way up to the goal. But it takes power slide techniques and exercise once you might need to go watchful eye on aboard the contact on the barriers. If anything else happens, just have to try this again to go for a new set of the attempts, and I always have to be preferred to go for one full session on one time attempt only to be obtained to be reached up to go with each sectors to go clear on the level goal. And that is how 3 hairpins on hair climb is all about to have the purpose to find your line on the inside to make your own kind of time-focused strategy for the attack. Once you're about to go all clear from sector 5, you'll be on the way and press forward to be proceed onto the 6th sector to have 2 more to go until 1 lap attack is about to be on standby. So next up, 34.4 seconds on the objective, viewers. We're about to have ourselves to go for a session in part 2 on the downhill. So better watch yourself, viewers. Aboard the barrier after 1 jump by rolling start in about 3 seconds to use the yellow highlight to keep it nice and safe. So let's get going. Looks like the ghost lap has a head start, so I have to go behind as well. Come on, just have to make that 4th gear transmission to be pulled together. Stay on it, and here comes the brake zone. After a few turns by Les is going to have to go kick up to be reinforced to keep it nice and slow. Okay, in about 3 seconds left, gonna make it, and made it on time to be placed on the goal by 0.185 seconds in around by 34 seconds. Okay, close call. And I'm getting closer to be proceed to the 7th sector after having 1 demonstration replay to get down on the review recap. but it's all about to have the 6th sector, once you might need to have your own line position to be using up on the yellow highlights. For the most part, avoid the barrier after one jump by proceed to the start line position to have some few turns when power slide for only one Group B rally car. Much more quiet demonstration to have that main turn when using the 4-gear transmission to be reinforced to stick together when using enough handling. After the steep downhill, the brake zone comes in onto the small S's and have that turn to keep it nice and slow without any contact. And this is how the 6th sector is all about to have the purpose where you have to get yourself to stay safe to be proceed in one piece. But I'm getting closer to be well done at least. Just have the 6th content replay to go for a scene on thumbnail image, and let's go for the 7th sector to be proceed onto the target time objective for the next one is 34.8 seconds. So it all comes down to this, and I'll make sure to be proceed to the 1 lap time attack after all 7 sectors to be obtained to be reached up on the goal. Okay, here it goes. 2 times on the jump, and 1 straightaway is going to get more tricky out there, so don't lose any kinds of concentration once you might need to take the last 2 turns on the corners. Got to catch up onto the ghost lap, and here comes the brake zone. Proceed in extreme exercise caution to be reinforced to be power slide on the dirt. But be very careful to avoid the contact on the pit entry. This will have to be proceed and go all clear for only one single sector to be reached up on the update placement for the first time on the goal. That's 34.683 seconds, and the good news is almost set and ready up for a 1 lap time attack after watching the replay for the 7th demonstration. This tip will have to help you out if you might have to go pro on main turns and obstacles on the 7th sector once you might need to be proceed to get yourself for a full speed on rallycross racing proving grounds. For the main part to go for a double speed bump to take 1 jump and the second to go for a low center on gravity before the last 2 turns is the best one to make your own best cue. See that? Power slide is very important to go kick up and reinforce it if you're about to have your own kind of rallycross racing strategy to be wrap this up to go all clear at the final corner and make your way to go cross into the finish line to be set and good to go. Okay, I'll have to save a replay and let's do this. And here we go, viewers. 1 lap time attack is on the way to be on the target time objective in 3 minutes 20.8 seconds coming right up. Now I must get ready, viewers. Let's begin on the countdown rolling start in about 3, 2, 1, and we're off. First lap on Fisherman's Ranch reverse direction on circuit experience is about to be finishing up soon as well after moments of hard work attempts. It'll do the pleasure to catch up onto that ghost lap after turn 1 and 2 to be applied and all clear for now to be stepping up and go straight away on a hill climb. Gonna make sure to keep a good eye on turn 3 before proceed on turn 4 and 5 on the first 2 hairpins. Let's step things up and go shift up the gears on gear number 2 to keep it nice and slow without changing up on gear 1. Come on, almost there. That should do nicely, and the ghost lap is about to take that push to go approaching in the upper hand advantage. So I've been waiting for this, cooking up with a rally car strategy for a single lap, and the big jump comes in to be stay on forward to be on a downhill at turn 7 by the next sector. So let me handle this. Gonna make sure to go pull in and race hard to have all the turns with 7 sectors all at once. A bit more challenging and a bit more tricky to have the curve straightaway to be coming up and go stay forward on the approach. Okay, there goes the inside mark. Go and commit, and don't lose that center position on the gravity, as you might need to stay focused up ahead to catch up to that ghost car as the next sector by number 5 on the hill climb is coming right up. Okay, let's take it slow to go for the next 3 hairpins. Stay on it. Not only just clever on gear number 2 transmission to kick up and go reinforce it on the inside turn to find the line. Come on, let me handle this. I still got this one before we proceed to the 6th sector. Alright, there we go. Still might need a lot of good tricks and skill is all I need. Stay on track. Looks like getting closer to be moving up on Sector 7. Gotta go Rallycross Racing commit. Okay, there we go. One jump on the right corner and straightaway to take 2 times of the jump. This will go on to take the final sector, so I'm ready for it and pull out the brake to keep it nice and clean to have the last 2 turns remain. Okay, there we go. Now, only take a single second for at least. And yes! Haha! I did it! I overcome 1 lap and cleared the gold lap attack at Fisherman's Ranch reverse direction for a circuit experience. So I congratulate myself that I just truly owned the course to have a one single classic Group B rally car. Very nice, and there you have it, viewers. One quick detour on circuit experience in update 1.70, as the replay might have to skip it for now before moving up to have the 5 vehicles to be ready up to go to Le Mans. Very nice, and right on the placement to go for a number 1 spot on the French ranking to be finishing up in 1 lap attack and 7 sectors on 1 full course. And there you have it for 72,000 Gran Turismo credits, but putting up enough effort by 46.8 miles by received for a daily workout. And here it is for a single 4-star roulette ticket. And all bronze for 600,000 Gran Turismo credits. And for the gold, and 2 million Gran Turismo credits for a grand total of 2.6. As for finishing up on circuit experience to be done and all clear for update 1.70, this is going to be the right time to go trying out with some 5 vehicles at Circuit de la Sarthe for 1 lap on time trial to go for a first hands-on impression, as you might have to go with one of the 4 Le Mans Hypercars for the first ever. It's at to begin and choose the Ferrari 499P 2023 to be on the way and get started out on first session to do 1 single lap. This time, switching up the vehicles for this main segment video, as I've been waiting for this for a long time after having a lot of grueling hard work for myself since every month on every previous content videos on the latest update to go from the past. Now in the present, this is going to get much more Hypercar competitive ready to go warm up on practice to be prior to this year's 24 hours of Le Mans. Now, let's have a look on the detailed settings. Putting up on racing medium compound tires by default, and as for the engine model, it's the F163CG-499P. Putting up on racing medium compound tires by default, but one part to be included as well to have a medium turbocharged RPM might be eligible to be prior to do some 3 races in Group 1 prototype series. Sounds like a very good, excellent turbocharged opportunity for 4 Le Mans Hypercars, and I'll have to try it out later on forward to be proceed to the weekly challenge right after 5 car tested. So let's give the 2023 winner of the Le Mans 24-hour endurance race 100th anniversary is about to go rolling start in 3 seconds by the warm-up at the 4th chicane. As you can see, viewers, this interior view turns out to go for the next generation prototype race car to have the steering wheel, the features to have a nice functional heads-on display to have the dashboard to go included as well. But it looks so very impressive as I to be proceed to go for a session on order to be ready up to go 1 lap only. Okay, first turn on the Dunlop corner is all clear. Follow up on the Dunlop chicane. Looks like this is going to get much more quite good turbocharge for one V6 hybrid to stay on focus for the all-wheel drive to be controlled in all directions to be controlled by four wheels. The handling turns out much more displayed to see how faster can it get to be compared to the Toyota GR010 hybrids. But much as afterwards, the top speed that features for the 7-speed transmission along with some other Le Mans Hypercars to go faster up onto the different grade of competition performance. So watch this, viewers. 7th gear comes up and wait for it before the first chicane on the Daytona is about to go placement on the brake zone to go hitting up at the right. See that? The top speed limit is about to go up in 208 miles per hour. Very cool and very faster to have the most glorious Le Mans Hypercar has been marked up to go for the return by 50-year absence. So the Mulsanne straight is about to go kick up onto the second part before proceed to the Michelin chicane. Gonna be ready for it. Make that top speed to go by 203 miles per hour. Pulling out the brake. Easy going on the handling and mark up the racing line to go clip up the apex. Now that's what I call a most impressive, glorious hypercar for having a comeback for Ferrari after decades from the 1990s for the 333 SP. So here comes the Mulsanne corner. Gonna have to go pull it out. Make that inside line of the apex to go follow up on the yellow highlight to take a good bright on a better view of display. But wow, looks like it's going too bright at least, so I have to stay focused and just have to go catch up onto the main turn by using the yellow highlight. For the moment, with all kinds of Le Mans Hypercar to be added to GT7 along with Peugeot 9X8, Porsche 963 and BMW M Hybrid V8 is all about to have their own characteristic, different performance and one racing Le Mans Hypercar potential along with some other racing games like Le Mans Ultimate. Okay, it's going all clear. Now for the next sector, proceed to go up on the Porsche curves to keep up with the 499P is all about to have a good racing spirit of the horse. Okay, going up on gear 7, pulling out the brake, keep it nice and neat, and stay together to keep up onto the Corvette curves to have some few more turns to be remained before the final sector comes in to go upon arrival. Okay, good handling check and respect the line and go follow up on the apex to catch up to go back onto the fourth chicane. 6th gear coming up. This was to take it nice and slow and no cutting up the track to avoid the penalty. This was to take that final turn and cross the line to be achieved by take the first lap and all clear by now in 3 minutes 38.674 seconds. Now that's what I call Ferrari's comeback for the prototype Le Mans Hypercar class category has now been stepping up to the grade of competition in the FIA World Endurance Championship. If you guys really want to learn and get behind the wheel for the Le Mans Hypercar class category, study well and race practice closely. Once you might need to have your own potential skills when racing on a track, it's all about to have the matter of discipline with 4 manufacturer brands in Group 1 category class. With a total time for one lap in 3 minutes 51.207 seconds, but my best time has been checked, and for my appraisal on the Ferrari 499P 2023 will deserve to give a 20 out of 20. Looks so racing futuristic to be participate to go competition in the next generation of Le Mans prototype race car. 7 sectors comes in to be in the first sector on 33.268 seconds, along with sector 2 in 36.351 seconds. As for sector 3 in 29.39 seconds before the 4th sector in the middle on 24.536 seconds. Once 3 sectors with number 5 in 31.183 seconds, sector 6 31.693 seconds, and for the final sector on number 7 in 32.253 seconds. That's more like it. One good experience on Le Mans Hypercar for part 1 of 4 for the 499p 2023 will give the content replay for a heads up on capture the thumbnail image. But take place at the Multimatic straight, just have to get closer. And there you go right now before switching up on Le Mans Hypercar test on number 2. Okay, now let's have the Porsche 963 2022 to be on the way by the rolling start for a second test, and I'm about to show you something for the preview for the upcoming brand new Total Drama liveries with some 3 more Le Mans Hypercars to be reserved by Extra by purchasing from the Brand Central. So I had to be putting up on Team Victory for the Ferrari 499p 2023 along with the Porsche 963 2024 of Team Amazon. As I had to be playing myself, as I had to be purchased on Extra for the M Hybrid V8 2025 to go with Team Chris is really hot. But that's why fears. Vision Total Drama is putting up to have some brand new liveries to go listed as well to have some 3 teams from Total Drama World Tour to be planned for the upcoming content videos on time lapse. Now let's have a look on the detailed settings and putting up on racing medium compound tires by default by having a good look on the engine model known as the 9RD. But much as additional to have a turbocharger to be included as well along with some Le Mans Hypercars to be using on medium turbocharged RPM. Most successor as a Porsche 919 Hybrid as a LMP1 race car to be coming as a processor, and the Le Mans Hypercar for the 963 as successor. As still become as the king of endurance racing for Porsche after taking the last years of the 919 Hybrid for the LMP1 category, Porsche will always have to step it up to have the most important Le Mans Hypercar yet to be designed to go equipped with the V8 twin-turbo hybrid. Now let's have a look on the inside interior view because the dashboard is going to be much more different than all the other Le Mans Hypercars to be racing and go first lap on practice for test run number 2. Ever since to see how the 919 Hybrid for midship all-wheel drive layout, this one is a fully fledged midship layout is now been becoming as the next step for only one prototype race car to be meeting up on a racing competition regulation with some other Le Mans Hypercar in all-wheel drive layout. But further yet, where the 7-speed transmission can actually go up in 211 miles per hour. However, the Multimatic straight will have to observe and give the example before approaches to take on in the Daytona chicane. So watch and learn. Gonna have to go wait until the 7-speed transmission to kick up. But yeah, this looks so very much more successful to see the 919 Hybrid is going faster and much more stronger. And for my guess, once you're about to go hit up the brake by approaches on chicane 1 to go up in 203 miles per hour as a first step original, but just to be clarified, if you might have to go with a turbocharged RPM to have the Multimatic straight with no chicane to go on experimental tests. So look at this, you guys. The tire balance has now been set up once you might need to have a look on the dashboard for the steering wheel. The front position might be turned out to go for a main placement in 78% and also for the rear in 75%. Just like all the other kinds of prototype race cars to have some different distance balance to go for well capable of duration of the matter of race car endurance. But however, with 4 Le Mans Hypercars has now been actually to become some of the same trait when you're using in livery editor at GT Auto. But it actually turns out to go with some standard colors by default with having a carbon fiber in the base model. But the good news is, every Gran Turismo players might have to start making their own liveries, especially for the 963 as the main successor for the 919 hybrids. Okay, just have to go speed up a little bit. Just have that Mulsanne corner to go all clear before proceed to the Indianapolis corner. Brakes on check, apply, and stay safe to go approaches the final line and clip up the apex to go stepping up and proceed to the Porsche curves. Okay, that's more like it. Other kinds of dashboard, and looks like the lights maybe turns out to go pop up by display before approaches onto the incoming corner. but it looks so very nice, and different racing hybrid technology to see the 963 to go competition in action. And steady up and go on the indicator. Suggestion to go gear on number 4. Stay on it. Passing on in to take the next sector to go on the Corvette curves towards the 4 chicane. Okay, very satisfied. Corvette curves are now clear. Now for the 4 chicane to the last corners. Let's see how it turns out to go. Satisfied to clip up the apex to go proceed onto the possible lap time challenge on the same track. Make that final corner and rev it up a little bit. Okay, looks like 1 lap clear for the Porsche 963 2024 by 3 minutes, 38.752 seconds, and session number 2 for a different Le Mans Hypercar on car test number 2. On the trivia from the Gran Turismo Wiki of Fandom, the tire sidewall will change depending on if dry, always indicated as medium compound, regardless of the actual compound or wet tires are being used. This trait is also present on the Audi RS5 Turbo DTM 2019. It sure has a lot of power for the Porsche 963 to have a good improved modern masterpiece of endurance racing, and I'll have to give a 20 out of 10 appraisal and 5-star rating along with a Ferrari 499P 2023 and 2021 Toyota GR010 Hybrid. Let's have a look on 7 sectors in 1 lap by 32.645 seconds on Sector 1, right next to Sector 2 in 36.532 seconds. Also for Sector 3 in 30.274 seconds. Sector 4 in the middle part, 25.249 seconds. 5th sector comes in on 30.28 seconds. 6th sector by the penultimate in 31.399 seconds. And for the final sector on number 7 is 32.373 seconds for the total time in 3 minutes, 38.752 seconds to have a content replay by required on the thumbnail image. But looks so very nice to have this good default livery for 2024 season design as well. This one might have to go for a close in on the camera view, and this will do perfectly. Now, just have to take a short second on intermission for the next part, and all I have to give, this part is right over here to be take place near at the Mulsanne corner. But wow, looks like it get much more brighter, so I had to take 10 seconds and go quick rewind. Just hang tight, and there you go. As I'm about to put up a new set of the ranking board to be reserved on Le Mans Hypercar to be practiced and ready up to go car test number 3 by using the 2025 BMW M Hybrid V8 and then the reserve recommend on Le Mans Hypercar test for the Peugeot 9XA 2025. Last thing I checked, gonna have to take a good look on detailed settings to be put up on the bulk racing medium compound tires for the engine model is the P66/3 M Hybrid V8. Same goes to have a medium turbocharged RPM to be added as well. It carried forward the spirit of the BMW V12 LMR from 1999 24 Hours of Le Mans by achieved and finished in second, along with the Toyota GT1 Type TSU 20 1999 by finish in first. As history repeats itself, this M Hybrid V8 is now becoming as a long-time successor by 20 years in the making to see how competent and challenging as it gets to take on with Toyota Gazoo Racing and currently to be known as Toyota Racing for the TR010. With this machine as a hybrid technology to become as a new flagship for BMW by becoming a new era of performance, tradition, innovation, and drive to win for the M Hybrid V8 has now been achieved to go for a new step of the chapter by a long-time successor from the BMW V12 LMR 1999. With this interior view, it turns out to becoming more different than all the other Le Mans Hypercars with different technology to be designed on the dashboard when using onto the steering wheel. but looks so similar to have a drivetrain layout to go for fully ledged midship to be titled in MR, all kinds of different features, ones you might need to have a look on the dashboard, and other kinds of different options when using this M Hybrid V8 to drive well on the track. But not to mention, the BMW M Hybrid V8 is now been serving up to becoming as a racing category when you're playing in the Crew Motorfest to be set out and go explore in the open world of Hawaii. No matter how a single Le Mans Hypercar to be step foot to go anywhere on different places, and especially to be usable to be driving on the track. But thank goodness, only one Le Mans Hypercar to be playable in the Crew Motorfest, while other racing games to have a reserve for Le Mans Hypercar class to go on racing circuits. So you see, by putting up on the main example before entered on the Daytona chicane by hitting up on 200 miles per hour when reach up on 7-gear transmission. But further yet, if you might need to go increase the top speed by build up a slipstream by challenging when you're entered in Group 1 Prototype Series, then why not just have to grab yourself and equip with a medium turbocharged RPM, might have to give it a go. So here comes the Michelin chicane on the left side. Keep that line check, satisfied, and mark up the exit onto the apex to go follow on the yellow highlight towards the next sector. But wow, I kinda like about the V8 twin turbocharged hybrid is very much more quite successful for a long time moment, just like the Porsche 963 for the same drivetrain layout, and the chassis turns out to go for a different grade up level to have a new era of motorsports racing for BMW and performance. So the halfway point on the track is getting closer to have the next 3 more sectors to go. All clear on the Mulsanne corner. This is gonna get nicer. And drive well to go hitting up on 7-gear transmission to get almost by 195 miles per hour. See that? Hitting up by 202 miles per hour before approaches on the Indianapolis corner to take the next one. Just have to be proceed to go sharp turn at 90-degree angle to be heading over to the Porsche curbs. But I tell you viewers, the number 15 on the BMW M Hybrid V8 is a very good long-time successor for a single Le Mans prototype race car ever since from 1999 by finishing second, along with the Toyota GT1 TSU 1999 has now been achieved to go podium finish at the first. But history repeats itself for 20 years in the making. BMW in second and Toyota has now been reached up to go achieved by first place once again. So it's getting closer to be reached up onto the final sector by wrapping up on the Corvette curves for the M Hybrid V8. So let's go ahead and take on that Ford chicane to do the last turns remain. Okay, easy up and go. Just get that M Hybrid V8 to take that last turn corner. Going on full stretch. Red well to keep up on quick second recovery and cross the line by ends up for a single lap clear by 3 minutes 42.224 seconds. But I'll have to give it an appraisal to do a 25 out of 10, 20 out of 20, and it's a nice prototype race car by BMW and performance. So let's have a look on 7 sectors again on the first one in 33.037 seconds, right next to 37.249 seconds on sector 2. Also for sector 3 in 30.058 seconds, the fourth part in the middle at 25.239 seconds, along with sector 5 in 30.639 seconds, sector 6 32.18 seconds, and for the last sector on number 7 in 33.822 seconds for the total time in 3 minutes 42.224 seconds. Looks so good to drive for all BMW fans out there, and that will consider this for a third content replay for myself onto the main segment video to have a good look on the chassis design itself. So I had to be preferred to go for a take place onto the half track, and I'll have to give 2 minutes and 50 seconds to zoom in right over here for a capture up on the thumbnail image. Okay, there you go. Well, I kinda like about this chassis, it looks so very much more long-time successor for the V12 LMR 1999. With this M Hybrid V8, for all fans out there like you, this race car is the perfect moment to participate in Group 1 prototype series in all racetracks and Circuit de la Sarda itself. Right at the good part to have this most important model ever yet to have that good improved downforce if you might need to jazz up with your own customization at the GT Auto. Always feel welcome to, and this will have to be considered is to go for a zoom in on the extra part to go right here. So there you go. This thumbnail image will be proceed to save a replay earlier before switching up on Le Mans Hypercar test number 4 to grab the Peugeot 9X8 2025. And there you go, viewers. Number 3 spot for the BMW M Hybrid V8 2025 on the ranking board. And I'll have to move on to go with Le Mans Hypercar test on number 4 and get down for the detailed settings to have a good cold initial engine for the 9X8 as the medium compound tires by default, and as usual for the medium turbocharged RPM to be included along with other Le Mans Hypercars. As the drivetrain for a midship all-wheel drive layout for a turbocharged aspiration for a hybrid-type race car based up and inspired by the elements of the original road-going concept car to be designed on the track. So this will have to be go on until the final car test on the Porsche 911 Turbo S Type 992 safety car right after going first lap on the 9X8 is about to be heading out on the track. With the roots of the electric all-wheel drive hypercar to be coming as a hybrid layout for only design and prototype race car to be part of the Le Mans Hypercar class. Now, this interior view is very more similar to have a good potential for a V6 turbocharged hybrid just like the Ferrari 499P 2023. Characteristics and the dashboard onto the steering wheel by display to see this good look for the hands-on impression to see how the handling turns out very well to go all-wheel drive by the midship to see in all controls by 4 wheels. Now this will have to go for a prepping on the Dunlop corner and chicane to be all clear by turn 1 and 3. This was to take that main turn to go complex in, comes out, and have that inside line to go deaccelerate to have a main position to go all clear by the first sector as a warm-up, and then moving up on the Mosing straight at sector 2 to go full speed acceleration to be up onto 200 miles per hour when going apply on gear 7. So take a good look, you guys. The RPM is about to go up in almost 8,000. This was the big kick up to go for a full speed acceleration to get up by around in 205 miles per hour. So wait for it, and there you go. Almost good enough to be adding up by 1 speed to get up onto 206 miles per hour. Now this is a very good, impressive all-wheel drive Le Mans Hypercar for the 9X8 is bring out to have some spiritual successor to the 905 and 908 HDI FAP. But very well quite good for a full speed downforce to have this chassis has been built out to go for a resemblance to have a form of the lion. That's why the logo of the Porsche itself has now been revamped and go for a new look at the update has now been designed to go for a participation in motorsports. But you may ever saw that notice about that steering wheel might be turned out and go glowing on display. Especially to be usable to go racing at nighttime when you're around to go in Le Mans and other race courses like Circuit de Sport Francorchamps. Looks so very cool and very bright up to have a nice full shade effect to go for a race time on the condition throughout day and night cycle for only one 24-hour endurance. So the halfway point is going on the main track. This will have to get brighter. Follow the yellow highlight. But it actually does quite very well impressive to see the 9X8 to go full speed without a wing spoiler to be prior to have the attached wing spoiler without using on customization options. But not to mention, with one part on the side option that bears out to go with the Peugeot logo itself might be quite usable and give a little bit more additional to be put up on souvenir throughout each round to the FIA World Endurance Championship. So let's see how it turns out to go for a full speed on acceleration to be drive around to be proceed to go on the Porsche curve, then Corvette curves, then 4 chicanes to go wrap this up at the end of the first lap. So watch this, you guys. Going on the brake zone, Applied well on the 5th gear transmission without shift down onto gear number 4. Got to keep going. Drive well to go Hypercar and freestyle to stay focused to be proceed to be on the final sector. Okay, that should do nicely to go natural on gear 4. Time to kick it up a little bit and go straight forward directly at the 4th chicane to go ramp up and watch the time to go steady up and take that inside apex to find the line. Okay, it's gonna have to take that safe zone on the apex. That should do enough by a total time in 1 lap by 3 minutes, 40.261 seconds, and this will have to call it for only 1 session for Le Mans Hypercar test on number 4. Okay, looks like that's it for now, except one more vehicle for update 1.70 to have a review check on the 9X8 2025 on 7 sectors for another batch of the session for a different Le Mans Hypercar. So far so good to have the clean racing line in progress to be starting out on the review check by 33.314 seconds on Sector 1 along with Sector 2 in 36.461 seconds, 3rd sector on 30.179 seconds to go on the middle part at Sector 4 at 25.068 seconds, 5th sector on 30.911 seconds, and then proceed to go on the 6th sector by 31.522 seconds, and the last part on Sector 7 in 32.806 seconds. And as for all the Peugeot fans like you about the 9X8 as a spiritual racing successor to the 905 from the 1990s and 2010 for the 908 HDI FAP. Much well respect for the Peugeot 9X8 2025 to help myself to go for the appraisal. We'll give a 20 out of 20 and 5-star approval for all Le Mans Hypercar fans out there to go participate with Ferrari 499P 2023, Porsche 963 2024, and the BMW M Hybrid V8 2025. Just like when you're playing Le Mans Ultimate, a different sim racing for all Le Mans Hypercars and LMGT3 race cars along with some LMP2 cars as well. Now onto the 4 content replay. This one might have to go for a different scene on perspective to be proceed to go on the first turn at the Dunlop curve than the Dunlop chicane. Just have that camera to go locate right over here, zoom in and give that frame rate to go brighter up on display. Okay, there you go. That's all I need to have the 4 content replay and consider for Le Mans Hypercar test on number 4 before putting up to go for a safety car version on the Porsche 911 Turbo S Type 992 safety car. So let's have a look, you guys. The ranking position on the 9X8 has been put up on the number 3 spot right next to the BMW M Hybrid V8 2025 on the 4th and still remains on the Porsche 963 2024. So I'm about to show you something for the 3rd Total Drama fan art livery on the BMW M Hybrid V8 2025 by adding up with Team Chris is really hot has now been going in blue style for the 3rd one as an upcoming time-lapse video. Just to have Vision Total Drama fan art, we might have to ramp up and go development overdrive to have the list of upcoming vehicle is still remain by coming soon. But it takes time, viewers. I know it put me a lot of effort when I had to keep up the good work for Vision Total Drama, as I still might need to have some unfinished work with some new batches of variation to be set and prior to have some more presentation showcase after finishing up with 2 team variation of the Screaming Gappers and Killer Grips from Total Drama Action. Now then, viewers, let's have the 5th vehicle test to be heading out. And I'm ready to go for the first ever fresh off the safety car in GT7 after the previous safety car by 6 of them since GT Sport and still remain usable is going to be quite good for a sports car to have a light bar is going to be fully active to be served up on mandatory single file order on race cars. So let's have the first lap, timer set, and heading out to be proceed onto the Dunlop curve on turn 1 to see the safety car 911 Turbo S Type 992 2022 to be based up from the road going counterpart. Now gonna have to be on the brake zone to be proceed onto the Dunlop chicane. Keep it nice and slow. and third gear transmission by carryover to have a nice center position to go for the middle on the track. I can actually think about this most recent about this brand new safety car version to be based up from the real life counterpart from the FIA World Endurance Championship. Much yet to be clarified to see the Type 992 911 Turbo S that features to have the same dashboard interior view to be based off from the actual wheel-going counterparts. But for the moment, it doesn't include to have some brand new races to be exclusive for the Type 992 safety car for the Porsche 911 Turbo S. But if possible, this will have to be well exclusable to be participate on various events on Porsche Cup and Schwarzwald League. But especially for the World Touring Car 600 as well to see the safety car can actually to be drive well to go for the heated competition with some wheel-going production cars. They might not just have to use this one to be well usable in online races to go for a normal online multiplayer. But the handling turns out to be look the same. The dashboard that brings out to have some most important features to go driving on the track to be listed to go field goal by general. So the main torque has now been still remained to go kick up onto 165 miles per hour on 6-gear transmission. Looks so very good, satisfied, and brake zone incoming before proceed on to the Michelin chicane. Now I'll have to switch things up to go on gear 3 to take it nice and slow without switching down on gear 2. Okay, just have to take a little bit more session time on cruising and faster up on straightaways to be proceed onto the next sector. But without further ado, this safety car is for all the Gran Turismo players like us. This will have to be planned yourself to go with your own kind of official online competition to be well exclusive to be take part to go for a regular kind of online lobby races. But it does actually to be work well to have your own plans and ideas to have this safety car to go for a rolling start in order to be planned yourself to go with your own kind of race series. With the chassis and the wing spoiler turns out to be much more quite clever to be brilliant to have a style of orange to be based up from the actual red trim. With an excellent speed and agility based up from the road-going counterparts, but it actually does well to be served up with some mandatory reasons to go for the front position to be heads up on the mandatory first. So it's getting closer to go all clear on the Indianapolis corner. Satisfied check. Moving up on the next sector and just have to be proceed to go back onto the Porsche curbs. Okay, looks like it's going all clear. And I really do believe if any Gran Turismo players might have to come up with a plan of experiment to see the safety car to go for a mandatory communication with some race cars to go for a single lap lineup in order. If the safety car might have to be proceed to go to the pit stop as other race cars might have to go faster on the green light as the first lap to be initial by the countdown after 3 seconds to be safe and all clear for now. And that is why the important safety car for the FIA is all about to have the safety car to go for the front and center formation as race cars to go behind with a safety car to be planned as well to have some images to be planned on example. So I'm getting closer to be on the final sector. Wrap this up on the Corvette curbs, and here comes the fourth chicane. Brake zone in. Let's take it nice and slow for the safety car of the Porsche 911 Turbo S Type 992. Only one more corner remain. This will have to take that total time to go around by 4 minutes and 30 seconds to be cross the line to go wrap this up right here for the first lap in only just 31.618 seconds by around in 4 minutes. Okay, let's have the safety lights to go hazard on. This will have to go for a mandatory slow in order, and this safety car has now been becoming as a well-chosen pick for all Gran Turismo players to make your own kinds of liberty design of your own. So this will have to call it for a day, and total time for only one lap by around in almost 5 minutes. With 7 sectors comes in on the first one at 42.243 seconds, along with the second sector at 44.330 seconds, third sector on 36.416 seconds, in the middle part right next on to sector 4 by 30.763 seconds, fifth sector by 36.699 seconds, and also for sector 6 on 38.428 seconds, and the seventh sector for the final part in 42.739 seconds on the Porsche 911 Turbo S Type 992 safety car. Slightly afterwards, I know you guys really think about safety cars to be planned to be prior to have your own tuning work by entered in the World Touring Car 600. Always have to be welcome to, and this will have to be planned yourself to make your own kind of online event to be organized when using on multiplayer. So let's have the final content replay for the update, and let's have a good look and ready up for a capture the thumbnail image to be placed and stop right over here. Okay. Very good enough. Then let's exit and double save by one batch of the content replay for the regular and best lap as well. Okay, that's more like it. Putting up on the 5th position right next to the BMW M Hybrid 2025. So viewers, I hope you're happy about trying out with some 5 cars on update 1.70 on Gran Turismo 7. This will be the best time to go ready up for some upcoming participation on Weekly Challenge and future Gran Turismo World Series Exhibition Series for the Nations Cup. But speaking of online races in sport mode, this will go on and ready up to have the priority to the participation at Le Mans for a brand new set of the lap time challenge, along with D-Force Raceway reverse direction for the Toyota 86 GRMN. Then I'll have to move on and proceed to the Sport Mode Pavilion to have a look on 2 new lap time challenges available, and I'll have to go back to the GT Garage to have 2 kits available on the Porsche 911 GT3R Type 992 2022 and Toyota GT1 TSU 2099 as Stealth Model version, since watching the viewers campaign from round 1 of 2026 Gran Turismo World Series at Milan, Italy. 2 exclusive vehicle and stealth model has now been received to go for a car ticket, and we are so glad that we just have to sit back and be patient for the date distribution. It's going to be quite good for a 3 car collection with some stealth models along with a Mazda RX-Vision GT3 concept. As I had to try my best to go hard on gold record placement in a minute 10 seconds, as I ends up to go for a point decimal at 6:15 at 10,212 place by 1 million credit on the silver. Well, I can't say it's a tough course and one difficult challenge for the go-kart to be drive well to be descend on the 4 hairpins to go rolling up on a downhill. With the exhibition series of the 2026 Gran Turismo World Series Nations Cup has now been confirmed on date by June 20th, 2026 to be prior to the first day of summer on June 21st by Sunday. Now, this had to go by 8 days left to go due to my absence, because it put me a lot of effort in putting up to have some planning of perspective to have this main content video to be coming as a full complete addition to my own. But I'll have to make sure to go participate to have the latest in about 1 more day left to go to grab one of my OCs to be placement on a Diamond Platinum to go challenging up on D-Force Raceway reverse direction. But don't you worry, viewers, I'll have to take a look and go Group 1 race cars specified only to be on the preview. For example, 5 Le Mans Hypercars, as you might need to get yourself prepared to select it, and have the reserve with variation on the Toyota GR010 Hybrid 2021. With 4 variation for a single Le Mans Hypercar to be included if you had to go for a rent event specified car only. Always be welcome to, and you might have to grab with the BMW M Hybrid V8, Peugeot 9X8, Ferrari 499P, or Porsche 963. The choice is yours, as the date distribution has been started out from update 1.70 on June 11 and ends until the 25th, 2026. The target time objective is about the goal set for Le Mans Hypercars to be ready up to go faster at 3 minutes 27.207 seconds on comparison by the part time in under 3%. Start racing compound tires only for a Group 1 category, and a BOP check will be prepared to go full high-speed Le Mans Hypercar on settings to be labeled on specified. Alright, time for me to go back to the GT garage by return the map. This will have to go on and pop up the notification with some 2 exclusive vehicles by watching the Furious campaign. Looks like right on cue, special gifts awaits me, and then moving up to go car index review by the description with 4 Le Mans Hypercars and Porsche 911 Turbo S Type 992 safety car. So feast your eyes on this one vehicle. 2 gift cards has now been arrived by watching the Furious campaign gift on the Manufacturers Cup and Nations Cup. Now this will have to be opened up on the Porsche 911 GT3R Type 992 2022 in stealth model variation. Looks so very nice, and black style version, and putting it with some decals of Fanatec, Dunlop, and Brembo itself. Good to see this most second stealth model version to be added to the game as a gift for all Gran Turismo players by watching the Furious campaign. And let's have a look on the brand new exclusive theme variation on the Toyota GT1 TS020 1999. But I bet if it's going to be turns out to go for a replica based variation like the original, but I kind of think this livery turns out is becoming much more quiet stealth model to be based up from the original black car from Gran Turismo 4. Very nice, and I kind of like about this livery that put up with Milan, Italy in it onto the front. Much appreciation, and 100% thumbs up on the 5-star rating to see this race car to be heading out to the track on World Touring Car 900 at Le Mans. Very nice, stealth model race car awesome, and let's have the car collection review index to see how to highlight on brand new with 4 Le Mans Hypercars, as I had to start out with the Peugeot 9X8 2025. An electric hypercar that represents the racing spirit of Peugeot. Second, Porsche 963 2024 along with the safety car 911 Turbo S. A new category LMDh hypercar created by Porsche, the masters of endurance. So look over here, viewers. By the last sentence, Porsche withdrew the 963 from WEC's hypercar class at the end of 2025, but the car continued to compete in the 2026 IMSA Championship. The 963 is something of a masterpiece, further burnishing Porsche's reputation as the king of endurance racing. Sounds like one competition to be withdrew, and moving up to go currently to be raced around on IMSA for the Porsche 963 by taking the footsteps from the Porsche 919 Hybrid. And for the Porsche 911 Turbo S Type 992 safety car, the 911 Turbo S reimagined as a safety car. So you see, by having a look on the last sentence to be based up from the road-going counterpart, qualities such as excellent traction and stability made the 911 Turbo S ideal for leading the field as a safety car. Meanwhile, its ability to keep a pack of race cars in the line without faltering came from its outstanding performance and high-level chassis control. Very outstanding. So let's have the detail on red dot for the BMW M Hybrid V8 2025. A new category sports prototype that carries the lineage of the celebrated V12 LMR. Very good on the description, and I'll have to scroll down to have the pause video for the moment, viewers, in case this were to go down for the last sentence. Although it carried forward the spirit of celebrated prototypes like the V12 LMR, hybrid technology allowed this machine to become a flagship, pointing towards a new era of performance, tradition, innovation, and drive to win. This car brought them all together. Just to see some other Le Mans Hypercars, just like Genesis is about to be heading out to go for debut participation of this year or by next year in 2027. Now on to the review on index for the 2023 Ferrari 499P. the glorious Prancing Horse that returned Ferrari to the top category and delivered victory at Le Mans after a 50-year absence. Historical comeback and putting up to have a good prototype hybrid system that combined with a twin-turbo 3.0-liter V6 with a front-mounted MGU producing up to 500 kilowatts. Its styling was shaped by more than pure speed. It is futuristic, but also unmistakably Ferrari. That is a large part of the 499P's charm, as the race itself was closely fought, but in the end, car number 51 came out on top. The 100th edition of 24 Hours of Le Mans saw Ferrari make a spectacular return to Circuit de la Sarthe, claiming its first overall victory in 58 years. One good prototype Le Mans Hypercar to have a best spotlight on the comeback moment out there to see one manufacturer brand to go for a nice good racing performance for a potential in all-wheel drive B6 twin-turbo hybrid. With one Le Mans Hypercar and Ferrari 296 GT3 with both racing models of the 2023 season since 3 years ago. Good to have two of them from Spec3 Update and currently for the first half of this year by around in 2026. But thank goodness that I just spent 5 days to do a lot of hard work for this main content video, is I had to get down to do the review on recap to see some good features, trying out with some Ford Le Mans Hypercars and safety car variation of the Porsche 911 Turbo S Type 992. So what do you think? It turns out very satisfied to take one good excellent time trial practice with Ford Le Mans Hypercars and the safety car version for the main tour of the segment. But got to admit, it turns out very well challenging and go faster on the track to be in a high speed limit to have my best thought and give a favor about trying out with some Ford Le Mans Hypercars. But to me, that would be my first favorite Le Mans Hypercar on update 1.70, is I had to be putting up on primary for the Toyota GR010 Hybrid, and I had to consider this as the second favorite for the Le Mans Hypercar class category in Group 1 class. The third one is I just tried out to go for the Porsche 963 2024 as a very good main currently for the season of IMSA Sports Car Championship after last year for the main participation for the FIA World Endurance Championship. Same goes to have the BMW M Hybrid V8 2025 is very good, and I kind of like about this most kind of important chassis has been turns out and a long time bold comeback since over 2 decades in the making since the V12 LMR. And especially to have the Peugeot 9XA 2025 is a very good kind of a common concept race car to be based up from an all-electric vehicle. With one race car in a hybrid powertrain layout and all-wheel drive to be produced and have the wing spoiler to be attached to go increase on the downforce to be well adjusted and perfectly to go for a major step of continuation for the FIA WEC season. So this will have to go on as an event specified car only for the weekly challenge to be participate in One Lap Magic at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps along with Group 1 Prototype Series at Circuit de la Sarthe. The choice is yours with Ford Le Mans Hypercars and +1 for the Toyota GR010 Hybrid, and not to mention, once you might have to think about to have your own kind of livery design variation to becoming as an official safety car when using the Porsche 911 Turbo S Type 992 safety car as a 2022 model to be based up from the road-going counterparts. Looks so very nice and well official to have a Gran Turismo logo itself and a title on safety car to have a single sports car to go for a formation on lineup on double file. But you might have to use this on regular online races to be put up on lobby whenever you like to have your own event to be planned and get yourself to go for a suitable race competition to get organized. So I hope you guys are happy for the update, and I had to go on by wrap this up at the end of the current video before moving on to be entered for the second week of June's weekly challenge. As the pride of Le Mans Hypercar has now been ready up to be start for the celebration to go for 3 new races in Group 1 Prototype Series, I will go on and I'll have to make sure to be expected lookout for the next update by sometime around in July or August to be determined. This will have to find out soon enough, and then my GT7 journey will always have to be continued on as well. So thank you for enjoying watching the video on Gran Turismo 7. I hope you enjoyed. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, then click the bell for a notification on upcoming content videos if you'd like to see. Follow me on DeepNetArt, Instagram, Twitter, GT Planet, Patreon, Discord, and more other social media platforms. Also check it out on my YouTube shorts that brings up with some presentation showcase like UDRS in Sport Tech, Toll Drama fan arts, and Dispenser Can fan art liveries along with some fairies whenever you're welcome at any time. I'll be seeing you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I'll look forward to see you again at the next current video. Keep on racing, stay clean.